Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a birthday card to share with you, which is also my entry for the current color challenge by My Favorite Things. I am featuring the You Deserve the Royal Treatment. This amazing girl illustrated by Tiddly Inks was just too cute to not buy. So I'm featuring actually three of my latest purchases from the My Favorite Things products. So here on the girl, this color challenge has pink and then dark blue, light blue. On the dress, the clothing of the girl, I am going to play with those two blues. And then the accessories like the star and the crown I will do with the pink, and then my background will have the pink and the gray, because there is also gray in the color challenge. Really soft colors, but the blue can really jump off your card if you want to. Really fun challenge this time. I'm trying to do some more challenges, but I don't get enough time lately to create tons of cards, so whenever I finally have a moment, these challenges actually help me to not have to figure out color scheme wise what I'm going to do. Or for example, when you want to participate on the Ready Set Christmas challenge by My Favorite Things, you don't have to decide a theme anymore, you already have one. So that can be a real time saver whenever you only have limited time to craft. So in this case, the color scheme pink, dark blue, light blue and gray. So for the hair, I say it all the time, personally, I don't find it easy to color if you want to do this technique, but you get used to it and you get better at it every time you try it. The thing is that you're doing some flicking, trying to follow the hairline as much as possible to get it sort of natural. Don't be afraid to leave white areas if you have some. There can be just a highlight. If you hold your marker more vertically, you will be able to add thinner lines on your coloring. So keep that in mind whenever you're trying this technique, and don't give up. If it's the first time you try it, it probably is just frustrating. It was when I tried it, but I'm getting more used to it. Another thing that can help you is using images that guide you through the flicking process and how to flick and which way to go, like these from Tiddly Inks. As you can see, there are a few lines that can help you determine how to flick, and I just love that. I love Tiddly Inks for that. I love Rochelle Anna Miller. If you're a beginner, I would definitely recommend Tiddly Inks, because you have bigger images most of the time, and there are a few more lines to help you, and the more you get used to it, the better you will become at it and have more fun with it as well. So in case you want to revisit Copic combinations, as always, they are listed on my blog post. Really easy to retrieve. In every description box on YouTube there is also the link towards my blog post, and on the bottom of the description box you will find all of the supplies that I used on my cards. So for the shadowing, except for the hair there, I really am not looking to how to shadow because I'm following the lines, but I tried here to have all of my shadows on the left side, and I worked my way towards my lightest marker. So I'm just doing that. Personally, I find that the easiest way to get the end result that I want, but if you start with your lightest color at a first layer and then build up from there, that's perfectly fine. Many ways to color with your Copics. Do what you feel comfortable with, what helps you to get that end result that you like. Color combinations that you're using that someone else used, but they are maybe coloring in another way, then it might be slightly different, but don't be bothered by that. Just do you, and it will be just fine. But if, for example, you color another way as I do and you like a combination, it can be slightly different, but it's not wrong, it's not ugly, it's perfect as it is. but just keep that in mind that it's not you necessarily, it's just the layers that can differ in how it ends up. So here I have my pink. I'm almost ready with the coloring. Then I'm going to take the matching die to die cut this girl out, and then we will play with the background. For the background, I am using the Blueprints 26 that I purchased. I really love these blueprints from my favorite things. I use the Blueprint 27, for example, all the time, and this one really has so many things in it. You can make really clean and simple cards with it. You can make a shaker with it. The balloons are so much fun. I really want to use them in an upcoming card, but I will see whenever I have the time. To help me get a complete border to go on the bottom of my card, I'm just going to trim that sentiment further so that I have this big piece with the birthday on top, and then I can decide how I want to position it on my card. Next, on the background, I am going to stamp out this background stamp, and the name is just slipping my mind, but it's also from the latest release. I think it's the balloon string background, if I'm not mistaken. To introduce a bit of gray as in the color scheme, I am just inking it up with River Rock from Fawn, and now I'm going to press down my paper. You can also put it in your Misty, stamp it multiple times, but I have been doing this lately and I really like how it ends up, but a Misty is perfectly fine as well. I'm going to add this background first, and then I'm going to trim off the excess. And I die cut the birthday. It can be perfect as sentiment on its own, but I ended up later on also white heat embossing a secondary sentiment to help me emphasize the birthday greeting. So I'm going to add the birthday as well. I'm going to use my ruler to really have this straight. The background is a bit wonky, so you would get away with a bit of crookedness, but at the same time, when you're doing clean and simple cards, the slightest mistake or the slightest thing that is a bit crooked really stands out. So therefore I just took the ruler, I made sure to line up the birthday, and then the rest was just pressing it down. And then I will trim off the excess again as I did with the background, and I know that this pink is going to cover the complete bottom of my card. For the image, I am going to add her with some thin foam squares. Always lovely to have a tiny bit of dimension. I'm also going to cut a few slivers to help me with the wand that she's holding, to reinforce that as well. And then first I'm going to create my secondary sentiment. I'm going to add it on gray to help me a bit more with the gray element of my card. This sentiment is from the stamp set itself, from the You Deserve the Royal Treatment, but because I already have birthday, I am going to mask that off, and I'm going to stamp the rest, white heat emboss it on this gray cardstock, and then die cut it into a sentiment strip. The embossing powder that I'm using is the white superfine detail from Ranger. For me it really helps also if you have these neat thin scripts. Then it helps you to not lose that subtle script along the way. So I used these sentiment strip dies to help me, and I first thought keeping it together, but then in the end I ended up trimming it in two pieces and play a bit more with it. But you can definitely add it anywhere you want to, complete as is. But there are so many options, so truly do you. I ended up trimming it down and then just added those two a bit more wonky above the birthday. So I played around with it quite a long time, and once I was happy I took some black thin foam squares to put behind, and I adhered them on top of my card. Now we are not done yet. You can definitely stop here. You could stop before the secondary greeting. Everything really is an option, but I ended up adding a few more embellishments, a few more details like a white jelly roll pen for some sparkle on her eyes, I'm going to add iridescent bubbles from Studio Katia, a bit around the sentiment to tie everything together. And then I will be adding some Stickles as well to the star to really let that wand shine. So here again, I played around with it quite a long time to get the embellishments where I like them. It's not always easy, we all know it. Placing embellishments can take some time. It's right at the end of your card and you think you're almost done, but then it takes up quite some time and you're always wondering how it can be that the embellishments stay like a bit of a struggle to get them right. But just take your time. If you don't find the right placement, maybe come back a bit later. Maybe you don't really need embellishments. That can also be the case. You do you. So here a bit of Stickles, mostly on the darker area of the star, and then my card is completely finished. A really fun card again. This one is to participate on a challenge by My Favorite Things, so check out the website to see whether there is a challenge that you like. This one is right until the 22nd of March, so I know that I'm a bit late, but maybe you still have some time and you want to craft and you want to join. So thank you so much for watching my video. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you got inspired. I wish you all an incredible day, and I'll be back soon with some new crafty inspiration. Bye!